The former Man United interim manager spotted a lot of the problems that still exist today. Manchester United have made innumerable errors in the years after Sir Alex Ferguson's retirement. Here's a good game to play with your mates down the pub. List them all in order. The first one is obvious. They didn't hire a director of football in 2013 to assist in the transition period after Ferguson's exit. That United didn't hire Ralf Rangnick as their director of football when he was literally presented to them in 2022 was another catastrophic error. Thankfully, Ineos are finally in the process of resolving it with the pillar appointments of Jason Wilcox and Dan Ashworth. But make no mistake, United's misuse of Rangnick was criminal. Here was one of the game's top sporting directors, yet United used him as a babysitter. The German regularly displayed the extent of his footballing expertise during his interim spell as manager and, ultimately, delivered one too many home truths for the Glazers to keep him on as a consultant, as per the initial plan. Perhaps most famous, or should it be infamous, Rangnick diatribe was his open-heart surgery rant of April 2022, days after a 4-1 defeat at Liverpool. Amid a desperate run of results, although United have already lost more games this season than they did in 2021-2022 and are set to finish 2 positions lower, Rangnick told United exactly how to get back to the top. It's not enough to do some minor amendments, cosmetic things. In medicine you would say that this is an operation of the open heart, he said. If this happens and everyone has realized this has to happen, and if people want to work together, then it makes sense, and I believe it doesn't take 2 or 3 years to change those things. This is something that not just one single person as a manager can do. With all respect to Jurgen Klopp and Pep Guardiola, I'm sure that they didn't do all the things themselves. At Liverpool and Manchester City, there were also other people involved in those 2 clubs. People in certain positions, no matter what area it was, in order to rebuild. In all areas you have to have top people, and they have to work together in a very close, reliable way. Quick glance at the events that have transpired since Rangnick's comments tell their own tale, and how he was ignored for so long. United had John Murtough in place as their first football director in 2021, but his background in such a role was close to zero. Darren Fletcher was their technical director and also had no experience. The club's transfer window in 2022, Erik Ten Hag's first as manager, revealed who was truly in charge of the recruitment process, with Christian Eriksen, Anthony, Tyrell Malacia and Lisandro Martinez all signings driven by the manager. The other arrival, Casemiro, was a Frenkie de Jong alternative, who, despite an initial peak, has seen his form collapse this season to the point where United now wish to sell the 32-year-old. Other United signings in the Ten Hag era also expose a lack of collaboration, as Rangnick might term it. Wout Weghorst was another Dutch player signed on a dirt-cheap loan. Sofian Amrabat was a former Ten Hag mentee. Mason Mount was also the manager's choice. For many, these players and their below-par performances are a damning indictment on Ten Hag's decision-making. United's lineup at Crystal Palace on Monday night included 7 Ten Hag signings, so the responsibility for such an abject display mainly lies with the manager. Yet it is the desire of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos to work in a framework more akin to the one to which Rangnick alluded. As Rangnick said, the running of such an enormous football club cannot be left to one person. The roles of Tsiki Begiristain and Michael Edwards, and their extensive backroom teams, at Manchester City and Liverpool respectively in recent years cannot be underestimated. United must become savvy, collaborative and less naive in the transfer market. Ratcliffe and his confidants know this all too well. Perhaps the change in United's footballing model might offer Ten Hag a stay of execution. It certainly explains why he's still in his post, given how dire results and performances have been this season. There will be nothing knee-jerk about the club's next major footballing decision. There is, however, a good chance Ineos will still make a change in the dugout, believing a fresh start under a new head coach is the only way, all things considered. But that new manager will still need the backing of a functional football department. Whatever you may think of Ten Hag, and popular opinion seems to be swaying against him, United's problems go way beyond the manager. That's been true for a decade or more. Rangnick knew it all too well. It's just a shame United have wasted the past 2 years since his illuminating comments.